On April 2, 2025, the U.S. introduced significant tariffs on imported goods, impacting economies worldwide.
So, if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think, in other words, they charge us, we charge them less. So how can anybody be upset? They will be, because we never charge anybody anything, but now we're going to charge. At the same time, we will establish a minimum baseline tariff of 10%. You notice that on the chart. And that'll be on other countries to help rebuild our economy and to prevent cheating. I call this kind reciprocal. This is not full reciprocal. This is kind reciprocal. But what we do is we cut it in half. We charge them. My answer is very simple. If they complain, if you want your tariff rate to be zero, then you build your product right here in America, because there is no tariff if you build your plant, your product in America.
Tariffs jumped dramatically, causing immediate disruptions in global trade. In the short term, global markets faced instability, erasing trillions in value. Consumers around the world experienced higher prices, especially for products imported from the U.S. Businesses reliant on American imports faced rising costs, potentially leading to job losses and reduced economic growth internationally. In the long term, countries may seek alternative trading partners, gradually reducing their dependency on American goods. While some economies could benefit by adapting quickly to new trade networks, prolonged uncertainty might lead to ongoing global economic instability. Understanding these impacts helps us appreciate how interconnected global trade is and how decisions by one country can affect us all.
What the US is doing now is not reform. It is rejecting the very system it created. The US has imposed a blanket 10% tariff on imports for nearly all countries. On top of that, it has layered on higher tariffs, up to 50% for selected countries, especially those that run a trade surplus with the US. According to the administration, the sweeping tariffs are needed to fix America's trade imbalances. But there is nothing inherently wrong about running a trade deficit. It simply means that American consumers are buying more from the world than the world is buying from America. Moreover, the focus has been solely on the goods trade. That only gives a partial picture. In fact, the US runs a surplus with many of its trading partners in services, exporting software services, education, entertainment, financial and business services. But this fact has been completely ignored. In Singapore's case, we have an FTA with America. We impose zero tariffs on US imports, and we actually run a trade deficit with the US, meaning we buy more from them than they do from us. If the tariffs were truly reciprocal, and if they were meant to target only those with trade surpluses, then the tariff for Singapore should be zero. But still, we are being subjected to the 10% tariff. We are very disappointed by the US move, especially considering the deep and long-standing friendship between our two countries. These are not actions one does to a friend.
We're taking in almost $2 billion a day in tariffs, $2 billion a day, and we're doing very well. And we're doing very well in making, I call them tailored deals, not off the rack. These are tailored, highly tailored deals. Right now, Japan is flying here to make a deal. South Korea is flying here to make a deal, and others are flying here.
Your made in Italy Gucci 80% come from Chinese factory. Lululemon Someone sell this jacket for nearly $100, but here only costs you $60.
$10, $10, and $10.
Bracelet costs like $44,000 on the official website, but only costs $6,000 in Shuibei.